with liberty and justice for all.
People come to me, they still call me the mayor. How we doing?
Don't let me forget, we still have those 3 local buses.
I know, so.
No, I drafted something.
Well, they had to give her IVs for 3 days.
Actually, my intern
because of
who
that,
did it
so.
actually
Okay,
did a good job
are you guys,
summarizing the minutes.
So first up is Alex Smith Ave, number 1. So David, I guess that's you. How you doing?
Jets and Giants lost. Terrible.
But did you see the Buffalo game? That was outrageous. So
He is Superman.
it was amazing. It was a great game.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I was just going to see if Dave, if you're ready to kick us off.
Sure. So I know that they had not submitted a revised site plan, but they did submit a revised floor plan. So I had some comments. Did you get copies of this, Dave?
Yeah, I did. Thank you.
Okay,
We got them from Terry. Appreciate it.
Okay, so I guess we can go through these. Most of them are informational. I don't know if you want to go through all the ones that are informational or just hit the high points.
No, I think the high points, because the information ones, you have everything, right, David, on there?
I have
Yep.
everything.
Right,
Yeah,
so-
actually, if you want to go right to, I think E is the first outstanding one.
Yeah, that has to do with the square footage and the square footage that I determined on the plan and what was stated. So, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Dave is correct. The basement plan measures 1,223 feet. When you subtract 142 feet from the one room there, you come up to 1,081 square feet. What we failed to note on the plan is that we're eliminating the can we get the plan? Is it possible, or?
We're putting it up.
Yeah, I'll take that. That's fine.
Can you zoom in on the top right, David?
Yes, you see the storage closet right here, right off of the den? So we're eliminating the square footage of that because it's part of the den area and has no access to the apartment. And so that equals 40 square feet. So that brings the total down to
41.
1,041. And then we're eliminating the mechanical room because it's non-habitable space, it's unfinished space. You can't, can't habitate in there. So that eliminates 50 square feet, which
Where's
brings
the
us down.
mechanical room on there?
Yeah,
Oh, it's all the way to the left up there? That's a bathroom there.
All the way on the left, this is mechanical.
right there,
Top left?
to our left. See the circle and the square with the flue coming out?
Oh, that's not a bathroom there?
No, the bathroom.
I see it. Bathroom's below, okay.
So that's 50 square feet, and that's what brings us to the 990 square feet shown for the accessory apartment.
So Dave, I don't know, does that work in the equation there?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I had checked the area on it. I had included the mechanical room because it wasn't shaded
Hatched.
out, like it wasn't hatched like the other area.
And then
And-
I also included, I think, the storage closet because it wasn't hatched out. And I excluded, though, the stairs and the landing. I came up with 960, including the mechanical room. But again, so if you look at this map, Dave,
Actually, we did not exclude the stair, quite honestly.
so.
So I like his number better.
Well, I mean, I guess there's a door.
You're gonna have to
leading
pay
into
him
the
for that,
camping
though.
So 30 square feet, how much is that?
But it's 960 if you exclude the storage closet and the den and the stairwell, and you include the mechanical room.
And you include, so we can, the mechanical room's 50 square feet, so if you're at we'll be at 910.
So I think we just need to show that math on the plan.
You know what, and also, it's our office The hatches were on different layers and whatever, so it's our mistake, but we can produce a plan right away that would show those areas hatched and the net result.
Okay? Are you good with that, Dave?
Yep.
Yep, okay.
And I think, the next one is, well, K, we agree with, a condition of approval for the, once this is, a covenant is filed with the county clerk's office. I think number 2, I want to thank you for your consideration of that on behalf of the owner. That's where Dave acknowledges that the survey provided did not have the improvements to the site, but we did provide a plot plan, and I signed and sealed to have the improvements to the site. That plot plan was used to satisfy a pool and surround permit a couple of years ago. It was accepted by the building department at that time. It is documented, and I can tell you our office field verified all of the improvements on the site. That's how we were able to get it improved. So, I appreciate Dave's thought. If you could accept that and make that a condition of final approval, that the survey that we included did not show the improvements, I have no problem with that.
Well, I guess the question is, was there a building permit issued for the pool and the patio and the pavilions?
Yeah, it's my understanding that it was, and a C of O was issued.
So I did see, David, that the building department has one of the gazebos. It looks like from Dave's plan, there's 2 gazebos.
From Dave's?
For your plan? I had showed you.
Sorry,
but-
you showed me. That's what I meant, sorry. So your plan, Dave just showed it to me, because I asked him a question about it. So you're showing 2 gazebos. One of them was permitted. The other one, there's no record of a permit for it.
That I didn't know.
Right, so I don't know what we do with that, but we certainly want to get it up to code, up to snuff.
You can make that a condition of approval. I
Right.
think the bigger concern is that, and Dave
survey.
Higgins, the survey matching, if there was no change, certainly I have no objection to relying on an existing survey. But we do have a change of conditions, that even predate this application. And I also believe this survey is not sealed.
Right, so the survey, the copy that I have, which was an 8.5 by 11, has a signature on it, but there's no seal. So I don't know if you have a
Right, that was
sealed
something I was
survey.
gonna bring up.
Yeah, we are having a little difficulty securing information from that company. So, I have to do whatever the board wants. Obviously, I'm asking that you accept the signed and sealed plot plan that we did, which was memorialized with a pool permit, a pool and surround permit and gazebo.
I think the issue there, though, is they don't match.
Well, the one gazebo doesn't match.
Right, that, and I think the survey, unless, you're gonna what we're asking is to update the survey to match the plan that you put together, plot, right?
I realize that. I know, I'm speaking on behalf of the owner to save expense on their part and a little aggravation, so.
Yeah,
It's up to
I mean,
you.
I think we're gonna need it, but,
So, I think one of the board's concerns would be that having the site plan show features on the site that aren't shown on the survey of record that's being presented, someone could potentially, come to the conclusion that the board is somehow endorsing, those features without really knowing where they are. And I think if we're also saying that you need to close out a building permit for the additional pavilion, you'd probably need to have a map that shows the location of that gazebo.
Yeah, that I didn't know. I didn't know about the second gazebo,
yeah.
not having a permit.
Right.
I'll have to, I like the language that was used, so here, it can it be excluded from the planning board resolution? Since the project is confined to the perimeter and the footprint of the building and is not addressing any of the other site improvements, and this particular application for an accessory apartment doesn't need the site improvements. It doesn't need the pool, it doesn't need the surround, it doesn't need the gazebo. I mean,
Right, but anytime a project comes before us, right, and there's things that aren't in alignment, that's when we get to bring it and say, these have to come into alignment, right? So then the people that come after us, when the next thing happens, they're gonna look and say, oh, it's all up to date.
I tried.
And
David, you
good
can
try.
dutifully say to your client that you did ask.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
yes,
And I think we skipped over one of the comments about showing the parking.
Yeah, I don't
that's a
get that
requirement?
because we show a two-car garage and a third parking space. I mean, I could show the cars in the driveway, it's no big deal, but, no,
no, on the same survey, same thing, just back. Yeah, pull out, pull back.
still around?
Which
But
is,
I don't think it applies because that
I don't think there's anything.
no,
there.
there's a C1 plan, but it was on the previous submission, not this one.
Floor area ratio.
No, AFR, not FAR. Are they still around?
John Locke
Oh.
is still around, I think.
Go that, yeah,
That's
let's
That's
open that
a
one up.
survey.
Right, yeah, he should be, I mean,
Yeah. No, that's not it.
so there was only one site plan that was submitted, I believe, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
didn't
that's-
submit a revised site plan.
Yeah, that's correct. We submitted just the one on the previous submission.
And it-
And
and
on
it-
ours, we show the car and two-car garage. I mean, if we have to resubmit, I could just show it again, but that's what I believe we submitted. I mean, actually, that's what my seal is on, so.
Right there.
Is that it, David, right there?
Oh, yeah, there you, right there. So you have an existing two-car garage, and then you have a space for a third car. I mean,
Can you get the car up?
I mean, that satisfies the parking requirements. I could show the cars in the garage, I could show them aligned in the driveway, it's not an issue, but, yeah, I believe that comment would be satisfied.
Let me check the comment again that we have here. Yeah, I don't know if I'd have to look at the code to see if it requires two off-street parking spaces
What?
for the single-family detached dwelling, and then parking for the apartment.
Right.
Yeah, so,
Give me a second.
So David, if you look also, you see the two pavilions?
Oh, yeah, no, we show two pavilions.
Yeah.
Oh, I
So you, right, you do, right,
attest to that, that's not an
Yep.
issue. I didn't realize that one
right.
had a C of O and the other did not. With this, I understand from Elizabeth's comments that the project needs a public hearing. Could we go ahead and schedule that?
So, Dave, what did you,
We can schedule the public hearing. We just referred out to 239.
okay.
So the
We
public,
just did that, like,
Yes.
what was the date? Do you remember, Liz?
last week.
Oh,
Oh,
we just did it today?
today.
I got it after I left, well, it came in after I left Thursday night.
Right, because it came
Okay,
in after you
that's
left
fine.
and I had to review it, and so I reviewed it and it got sent. We're still fine because
Right.
for notice purposes, I would suggest that we schedule at our, will we have agenda items?
That's what I'm looking right now.
I think we will. Otherwise, I'd say do it tonight, if we don't have any agenda items, but schedule it for your,
We have nothing.
okay, then I would
nothing till
schedule,
October, beginning of October, and then.
and we
that's-
just have one
that's a
meeting in,
special meeting.
we have one meeting in October?
No, we have two.
We have two.
The first one's a special meeting.
Okay.
Because we don't have the second meeting this month, I believe.
I have it in my calendar, I think.
Right there, yes, right.
Yeah, so the 6th is a special meeting in October, and the 28th is the regular meeting.
Yeah.
Right.
The 6th is,
It's a Monday.
it's a Monday. It's because there's a banking holiday on the next Monday, which is it's Columbus Day.
Yeah, and I think Rosh Hashanah is in there too.
It's
so-
not Rosh Hashanah, I think it's Sukkot.
Oh, Sukkot?
That starts on the 6th, I think.
Right.
Oh, it does.
But it's not on the,
Yeah, it's not Rosh Hashanah or Yom Kippur. 13th, yes. What's on your calendar? So do we not have one this tail end of September?
Another meeting? No?
Oh, because of Rosh Hashanah. That's why we don't have a meeting.
Right.
Right, we don't have a meeting because it's Rosh Hashanah. I'm 98% sure that that's Rosh Hashanah.
yeah, the end,
Yeah.
the end of,
I'm almost positive that's why we moved it
yes.
and combined it.
And that's why
It's
we need this.
October 2nd.
So since we're not going to have a second meeting, then you can make a motion tonight to set the public hearing. You can have, I honestly don't care whether it's the 6th, the 6th or the other meeting. What's best for your clients. I appreciate that it's a minor
Well, our
holiday.
regular meeting is the 28th.
28.
Our regular meeting's the 28th, but
There you go.
we have an adjustment in schedule. I don't have an objection either way.
Would 30 days have elapsed?
I'm not worried about that. On this type of application, I'm not worried about that.
I'm sure my client would rather have it sooner, but
28
it's up to you.
There's a few things to look at.
Yeah, I mean,
Are they-
everything, right, well, everything would have to be ready, David, for the public hearing, right?
For
So,
for the actual public,
for the actual public hearing.
survey won't be ready. I just, you know, Dave knows, I mean, in the industry, it's not gonna happen in the next 2 weeks.
I don't necessarily have an objection,
Okay.
but the applicant is on notice that before we can issue an approval,
Right,
we need to make sure.
I agree with that.
okay.
But
Absolutely.
I don't have an objection to setting the public hearing. I think, and Dave, unless there's some major,
No, I think that's fine.
okay. So is there a motion to set the public hearing for the 6th?
Make that motion.
We're resetting it for the 28th
The 6th.
Special.
with no survey.
No, but it's conditioned. We won't move forward without it.
Second.
Second? All in favor?
All right.
Opposed? Okay.
All right.
6th.
We will diligently track down the other information. Thank you very much,
Awesome.
everyone. Have a good evening.
Okay, thanks, David. All right, let's see. 105 High Street. How you doing? If you would just state your name and spell your last name so we can get it correct in the record.
Hi, good evening. My name is Yitzchak Stein, S-T-E-I-N.
Okay?
I came to represent my client, 105 High Street, minor subdivision for an existing lot.
Okay. So what we're going to do is just turn it over to David for his comments. You received all the comments?
Yes.
Okay, so David, you want to go through?
Sure, so this is a new application, so we'll go through all of them.
Yep.
The project, we'll start with a description. The project is the proposed subdivision of an existing 0.67 plus or minus acre parcel into 2 lots. The property is currently occupied by an existing 2-story dwelling and a garage. It appears that the dwelling is to remain and the existing garage will be demolished and replaced with a new proposed 2-story dwelling. The subdivision is proposed in the SR10 district where 1-family detached dwellings are permitted. So comment number 1, site-specific note number 1 on sheet 1 indicates that the plan is a site plan. This should be changed to indicate that it is a subdivision plan. Okay?
All right.
Number 2, the bulk table on sheet 1 and the lot labels shown refer to Lot A, existing, and Lot B. It is recommended that the labels be changed to indicate proposed Lot 1 and proposed Lot 2. Okay.
Yes.
Number 3, note 7 on sheet 1 has a line item for a survey reference to boundary and topography. Subdivision map will need to be signed and sealed by a licensed surveyor.
All right. Yeah, we have the survey. I forgot to send it in. Yeah, we'll send it over.
Number 4, sheet 2 includes a line located approximately 25 feet offset from the center line of High Street with a label indicating that the line is a lot line as per unrecorded survey. Applicant's design consultant should clarify. If the property deed does not reflect the property line being 25 feet from the center line of High Street, it is recommended that the area within 25 feet be offered for dedication by the Village of Monroe for ownership and maintenance of the roadway. Lot areas will need to be updated to reflect the reduced lot area. So do you know the disposition of that lot line?
So we do have the survey showing the lot line in center of the road, like your road.
We're gonna put it right up on the screen for you here. The one
Yeah.
you gave to us, or you did a new one?
No. That's.
Same
Oh,
one
did
you-
I gave you the site plan? Okay, yeah, no problem.
You do it there?
I think it's the
It's the second sheet, I think.
It's the
shows
second
it.
sheet.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yep.
I had a similar comment.
Yeah.
Can you go further?
Yeah, also the question about the extra lines over there, I contacted the surveyor. So basically he said that it's like lines from previous site, you
Yeah, I
know.
think they're shown in the tax map. I didn't know that at the time I wrote the comment letter, but there's.
We
those
confirmed
lines
that those
on
are tax,
Yeah.
I think the bigger issue is not the tax map lines like that, I think we've resolved. It's the, right now, your maps show the property line to the center of the street, which I would expect, but it also has that second line showing it more interior lot line, and then my concern is that there are pins in line on the corner, so that that is actually the property line. We need to ascertain that because that's gonna affect your setbacks and calculations, so, does it include that 25 feet? 25 feet, actually, you measured it, it makes perfect sense that that was the width of the road.
Yeah, I had checked that. I used the scale
Yeah.
of the map to check that. The line is shown 25 feet off of the property
Yeah.
line, which right now is running
Yeah.
generally down the center of the
It
road.
made sense to me, so I contacted the surveyor and he confirmed that this is how the deed is.
So the deed goes to the center of the road.
This is what he said, he's going to recheck tomorrow. But
Yeah,
he's,
I would ask that you have your client's title company, provide us something that shows that, because again, we now have a document that says that that interior line is shown, and it's got pins on it further on other properties. So, I would definitely, the easy answer is we treat that like the property line for purposes of our application. But if you disagree, have a title company provide us with a documentation that that's actually the line. I do agree with Dave that if that's the case, then we should have an offer of dedication as part of the subdivision.
Yeah, that's the next question. So then since the FAR rule, if I'm losing such a big portion of the property, then I'm losing a lot of square footage. So the question is, does it need to go together? That is, the client has no problem giving it up and giving it for the town, but for the village. But then he's losing the FAR. So the question is, can we?
I think we took a look at it, and I think it's still okay, right, Dave?
Well, you certainly have enough area for the two lots. I don't think I checked an FAR calculation, because I don't think you're anywhere near it, but I think that you're saying that the applicant is looking ahead at if he loses that area, then when he does do an FAR calculation for floor space in the
Is he
future.
planning on taking that
Cool.
house down?
No, not at the moment. Yeah, so we need to
Because
basically.
if he keeps the house, then the FAR is irrelevant, it's a pre-existing nonconformity.
Yeah, that's for the existing house. But if he wants to create a new lot and a new house on the new lot, so then he's like very limited with the FAR. So the question is, is it?
But the new house is on the land in the back, correct? And the area that you're losing is on the land in the front.
Front.
So it doesn't affect it wouldn't affect the building in the back.
Oh, so what you're saying is basically we can keep the existing structure.
Right, because the existing is non-conforming anyway.
Well, I don't even know that it is not, let me just pull up the FAR, give me a second.
Yeah, but if I'm taking part of the lot from the back, then I'm losing more. I mean, I would appreciate if my customer can, like if we can do it that way. That
How
we'll
big is
figure the
lot?
25
How
feet for
big
the
would
front
the lot
lot and leave the back lot as is.
Give me,
Now it's the same lot, we're just subdividing it.
Here, I think this is.
Right, but the subdivision is the back half.
That's correct.
So I don't think anything would change on the back
Mhm,
half, right, Dave? I don't think.
0.4 acres. But
18.
that's to the center of the road.
so,
It's gonna be a little less than that.
I mean, so if that's 25 by 100, that's
2,500.
2,500, so that becomes 18,000 minus 2,500, that becomes,
15,500 roughly.
that gives you room for a 2,700 square foot house. It's a pretty big house.
For the new one,
For the old, for
For lot one.
For lot one.
for lot one.
Yeah, the other lot, if you were at 11,000 square feet as what's shown on your proposal, you could have a 25-20, and it looks like you've hit that nail on the head on your drawing. So I think and this house is, what's the existing
It's
house?
gotta be bigger than that, I don't know. I didn't see
29 something.
So that's a pre-existing nonconformity. But I don't see why you couldn't, and the minimum lot size is what?
10,000 square feet.
Oh, so you're still,
Yeah.
you're not running into minimum. So I don't know, I understand why you're concerned. Rough calculations, and I leave that to you. Like I said, I'm gonna need to see from a title company about that 25 feet in question.
Got it.
All
right.
But I think based on the way we're talking, I don't know that it's gonna affect Lot B. And even if it affects Lot A, you're at 2720, or they keep the existing house.
Got it.
Okay? I can.
Okay, so on to number 5. Proposed lot 1 is considered a corner lot and is subject to section 200-18. On corner lots, front yards are required on both street frontages, and one yard other than the front yard shall be deemed to be a rear yard and the other a side yard.
Yeah, we'll update the site plan.
Okay, and number 6, on sheet 2, the existing plan, there appears to be dashed lines. And again, this is what we're talking about, the lines that were
Yes.
left over on the tax lot from prior subdivisions.
Subdivisions, right?
Number 6, on sheet 2, existing plan, number 7, sheet 5 indicates the total disturbance area is 5,161 square feet, which is less than the half acre, which requires preparation of a full SWIP. So that's just an informational comment. Number 8, regarding the submitted short EAF form, A, question 3B should be answered to indicate the total acreage to be disturbed. B, question 9, project should meet or exceed the state energy code requirements. C, question 12 indicates that the project contains or is substantially contiguous to a building, archaeological site, or district which is listed on the National or State Register of Historic Places or has been determined as eligible for listing on the State Register of Historic Places. Applicant shall provide correspondence with SHPO regarding the project to determine the potential impact on historic resources. So on that, there's
We'll do that, yes.
they have the CRIS website.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
D, question 13 indicates that there may be wetlands on or on lands adjacent to the subject property. Applicant shall confirm that no wetlands are to be disturbed as part of the proposed action, and if so, a note to this effect shall be provided on the plan.
On the site plan.
Correct. E, question 15 indicates the potential presence of endangered habitat, northern long-eared bat, on or near the subject property. Applicant should provide mitigation by way of limiting tree clearing to be between the dates of November 1st and March 31st. Number 9, plan should include construction details for pavement, utilities, water and sewer connections, and erosion control measures.
All right.
10, connection of the sanitary sewer is subject to review and approval by the Orange County Environmental Facilities.
So that's for what? The
With the
this
sewer
is being
connection.
sent by the board.
Excuse me?
It's being sent by the board.
It would be a condition of the approval, and you would need
Condition of
to
the
obtain approval for final.
Oh, got it.
Number 11, properties within 500 feet of a state highway and is subject to referral to the Orange County Department of Planning under GML 239. Now, that's a referral that the planning board would make.
Planning board's in.
And number 12, a public hearing is required for the subdivision.
I'll try to skim through my comments so I don't repeat any of Dave's. Tonight, your first step as part of the subdivision process, the applicant is suggesting that it is a minor subdivision. I do agree with the applicant. Our code defines a subdivision, a minor subdivision, as any subdivision containing not more than 4 lots fronting on an existing street, not involving any new street or road or extension of village facilities, and not adversely affecting the development of the remainder of the parcel or adjoining property. So tonight, and I don't have any objection to this resolution tonight, you're gonna make a motion declaring that this application should be treated as a minor subdivision versus a major subdivision under your code. That gives the applicant some process to follow for the rest of our review.
So can we do that in a workshop?
You can make the motion.
Okay.
So is there a motion that this is a minor subdivision?
From the board? Joe? Yeah. Okay, second? All in favor? It's now a minor subdivision.
He can
Thank
say it, it just, you get to really say it. Okay, now that we've done that, it does require 239. Public hearing is to be required. I also provided you in my comment memo the section that relates to the notice. I will provide, when we get there, the notice. We're not there yet. Application is an unlisted action pursuant to seeker. The board is reminded that unlike site plans, seeker must be complete prior to holding the public hearing, and that's under the New York State Village Law. That is just how it's worded before we can set the public hearing. So there either needs to be a negative declaration or a finding statement after an environmental impact statement, okay, before we can have the public hearing. A couple of SEAF comments, Dave got most of them. SEAF to be updated to reflect Yoel Friedman as the applicant. I think it put the consultant as the applicant. And number 2 to be corrected to Village of Monroe Planning Board. It does say Town of Monroe.
Yeah, we clarified that.
Yeah,
regarding
I
the-
saw, I was a little confused and then it was a typo. It's fine, it just needs, since you're making
No,
other.
just the opposite, just it reflects Joel Friedman. Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
I need to
But
update.
now, the applicant is not gonna be,
Is not going to be the owner.
it's going to be
It's going to be Ideal Design.
Ideal Design.
Yes, yes,
I
okay.
had them send the sheet changing the application
okay.
to
Okay.
reflect that.
And we have the authorizations and all of
Yes.
that. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Again, I repeat some of the comments. The footnote was a little, with respect to the bulk table, my apologies, the bulk table. I do agree with Dave's comments. Also, if you could clarify the footnote. I think there was trying to be an explanation, but it just.
Yeah.
And then identify any pre-existing non-conforming dimensions as such for us. Lot A is a corner lot and must comply with 200-18. And then I'd ask that your bulk table be updated to include for that lot, front yard setbacks for both High Street and Knight Street. Also,
Excuse me, on the corner lot, all proper setbacks are there,
well, this house is a pre-existing house, so
but it's a corner house.
it's a corner house. So this house predates the zone, I'm pretty sure this house predates the zoning. So it would never have complied with setbacks, because it predates the zoning. We still have to show it for purposes of the plan, what the setbacks are, and noted with a pre-existing nonconformity. I do recommend, please take a look at switching your proposed rear yard and side yard, because it will be in greater conformity with your code.
Yeah, I saw that. Makes sense.
I think it just, because then you go from a 15 to 12 versus 15, 12 to 30 or whatever it is. So I just think it is cleaner that way. We talked about the other lot, the second lot line, and then application and seeker materials to reflect the demolition of the existing garage.
Any questions by the board?
I don't have any-
So I think upon the applicant making the changes requested by our comments, once those come in, I would recommend referral out. Okay. There's
To
no
239, you mean?
239.
Mhm.
But I think given the couple of changes that we have, I'd like to see those changes before we send it out.
Yep, I agree.
Am I missing anything, Dave?
I don't think so.
Provide new resubmission.
You have any questions, Mr. Stein?
No, I think everything is pretty clear.
Good? Okay.
Appreciate it. Okay, so I'll.
And just note, I don't know, because it's a tight, and I know the holidays are coming up, just note our change in schedule with respect to submission dates, but I know it's holiday time, so we have a different submission date because of the change. Okay.
So where is it? Is it listed?
Yeah, the calendar is on the village's website. Instead of Columbus Day is the 13th, so it's now the 6th and the 28th, and we canceled our September meeting for for the holiday.
All
So
right.
I just put it out there so it's not this regular submission date.
All right,
Okay.
I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you very much.
September 25th.
Have a nice
Excuse me,
evening.
Mr.
Oh,
Stein,
sure.
do you remember to bring the check for the land?
Oh yes, I wrote it.
So you were looking at October, the submission date for October?
I'm just reminding people, trying to get, not so that people who are in the routine of,
Yes.
you know, our standard schedule know that we're deviating, that's all. Our submission date, I will tell you. Actually, it should be on my calendar. Anytime there's a deviation, I like to repeat it frequently.
All right, okay. I think that's
I want to say it's like
a wrap on that one.
it would be like the 22nd, right, Terry?
25th, I think.
25th?
Thank you very much.
Yep, it's the 25th is the submission date.
All right, I'll do
Good.
my homework.
All right, have a
Thank
great
you.
night.
Thank you.
Okay, Mike, you're in. So, let us see here. So this is 573. So, Dave, would you like to start us off?
Sure. So a lot of the comments that I have in here, because this application has been before the board several times,
Right.
are
Hit the high
informational
points. Yeah.
and placeholders, really, so that we don't forget them when, before the end of the application.
Right.
So the first one is worth talking about, though. A total of 234 square feet of disturbance is proposed within the wetland and 1,411 square feet in the adjacent area. A permit from the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is required prior to any issuance of amended site plan approval. So they did provide a certified DEC map. It's valid, I forget until when, but it hasn't expired yet.
No, it's
It was just-
5 years from this past
But it
March,
it
yeah.
was just signed,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Correct,
okay.
yeah.
So yeah, I think until 2030, I think, something like that. Correct. Okay, so they'll need permits on that, so any approval should be conditioned upon that. Second comment talks about needing approval from New York State Department of Transportation. Again, that would be a condition of any approval that the board makes. 3 has to do with the landscaping plan. I don't believe any substantive changes to the landscaping plan have been made since the last meeting, but I do have on there that the board should consider the adequacy of the submitted landscaping plan prior to any approval.
Right.
Number 4, this is a new comment. On sheet 5 of 18, it appears from the grades shown and the labels that a curb is being proposed along the northern property line to serve as a short wall. Details of the curb for this use have been added on sheet 20. However, no detail appears to show a drainage channel between the curb, and it is unclear what the maximum height difference between the two curbs will be. Also, the top of wall and bottom wall elevations on sheet 5 are the same in some locations. Plan should be revised to clarify. So I don't know if you followed.
No, I did. That detail came in from a structural engineer that's on the project. I got it the day like I was submitting, you know.
Okay.
So, I mean, the cross concrete member between the two actually kind of makes sense. It'll be filled in with soil in between,
Okay.
but I have to tighten it up. Yeah,
Okay,
for sure, I have to
update
tighten that up, yeah.
the
But I wanted to get you something rather than nothing, so
Under,
that's, yeah.
okay, okay.
Yep.
Okay, number 6, we talked, this was about the fire lane for emergency vehicles. I believe that we did receive a letter from emergency services, right?
Yeah, did you see that, Mike?
I think I saw the fire chief, if that's who.
That's
Yeah,
what
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
referring
And
to.
and he wanted a hydrant, which I think,
Well, he wants hydrants, but he's also, he made a comment about he can get around the building, but he can't set up.
I don't remember, I'm sure that was on there. I have to go back and refresh my
Yeah,
memory.
take a look at that.
Okay.
Again, and then if, whatever you have to do, so, yeah, let me read the comment that he put there. So he did say that this fire, but he said, although the truck fits on paper, setting it up is another story. There's outriggers that need to be placed prior to the ladder's operation, thus leaving the fire attack from in front of the street. He must have done this with his eye.
I'm pretty sure he typed it on.
So I'm trying to fill the words in.
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
So from the front of the street, or in the front, is what he's saying. And he'd like to see a hydrant placed on the street in front of the building. The closest hydrant's around 300 feet away currently. So to make an attack from the street, we need a closer hydrant. He did not see a sprinkler system. If there is, where is it fed from? And he'd like to also see the actual building schematics so that we know the interior layout with doors and windows to make a better assessment.
Okay.
So you did get that though, just so,
I did.
otherwise we'll send it to you.
I mean, I must have,
July, like July.
no, I know I saw it. I must have read it wrong. I thought that if he could fight the fire from 17M via the use of a hydrant, it would preclude the need for getting inside the site to set up for the outriggers for the ladder.
Building like 300 feet?
I don't know if it's 300 feet. Let's take a
Right,
look.
it's long.
It's
I think that's
long,
your
yeah.
point.
It's
Yeah,
long.
I think
Yeah.
it's close.
It would be a stretch, no pun intended,
Yeah.
to get from the front of the road to the back of the building.
Ron, you're a firefighter. Can you shoot the water from 17, 250, 300 feet?
It'd be a stretch.
No pun intended.
That seems to be the word. At 308 feet, yeah, it is,
308?
yeah, it's long. Okay, we'll take a look at it.
And maybe.
I'll have to get some dimensions from the chief to see if
Right, what they need for that
I
setup.
can show the outriggers being set up and so on and so forth.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
That'd be great.
And maybe a site, a greater site, I know we've had a couple of projects do a site visit with emergency services, if that's
That's
helpful.
probably a great idea for him to come out.
I can contact the chief.
Yeah, because he only saw it on, it looks like from his comment letter, he's looking at all on paper. So,
On a computer screen.
so,
Not a problem, chief and I know each other.
David, what is the
Not my
me?
first project.
dimensions, the overall dimensions?
I have to look it up, I don't know
it's 300
offhand.
feet long, it's like 40 feet wide or something.
remember?
30, it's like 30 by 300.
Yeah, or 30, right, something like that. With, yeah, because then you have the driveway,
It's long and narrow.
You're looking at 30-foot wide?
and 300 feet long.
I can tell, hold on, I've got it.
Yeah, I got the plan here, but I have to take a look at it.
Yeah, something like that, though, it's close.
Well, it's-
Man, that's 3 football fields.
It's one football field. 1 yard is 3 feet.
Oh, 300 feet, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was thinking 300 yards.
It'd be a lot bigger building.
I'd be
yeah.
like, wow, that'd be a heck of a building. Just testing you, make sure you all know how to play the football field.
Making sure we know our conversions.
It's 300, it's
27 feet.
3 football fields if it's the Ravens.
Yeah, at least. Boy, that was a heartbreaker
27
for
feet
Harbaugh.
wide.
What do you got there?
27 feet
27.
I
wide,
think it starts and
By
then narrows
308.
up, yeah.
yeah.
27 wide by how long?
300, 308.
Yeah.
Boy, if you're somebody internally and you gotta make the length of the business to bring something to the other side.
Get your steps
Get a
in,
golf cart.
getting
That's
your
right.
steps in. All right, let's let David.
And then,
It comes up to about 18,000 square feet. You're talking about 23,000 in all your lettuce.
It's noted on the plan, the square footage of the building. So, I'm showing 8,840 square feet for the first floor and 10,949 square
Yeah,
feet
there
for
is
the
a-
second floor.
Second
Mr.
floor.
Umberto, there's an overhang.
Yeah. So it's about 19,789 square feet.
19,000, okay. All the notes we have is 23 plus.
For the one floor, and that's the footprint you're looking at.
Does that include your sub-basement?
I don't want to say there is a
Because
sub-basement
my
on
notes
this.
have, maybe it's an old number.
I mean,
Oh,
let
you
me just
they modified the building based on side yard issues, so it was a larger building.
Ele-
Did shrink it.
Elevation views are, my grading plan's only showing a first floor elevation,
Okay,
yeah, so. No, that's fine. I'm glad, I just want to make sure.
The chair and I had this conversation. I feel like I'm in airplane mode because every application is 3 digits root 17M.
Yeah, we gotta change
Projects
that.
kind of blend
It's
together.
awful.
Everybody's complaining about that. And I'm just getting used to the numbering, by the way. I know Monroe now, by the way.
I've never confused the number, Mike. I kept thinking this one was the pharmacy, because we got one right next door.
Do you know how many 17Ms I got? 573,
I know, yeah,
363.
Right.
Then
So
I got
imagine how many you got.
573, 208.
I literally feel like I'm
Yeah.
talking about airplane models.
Right.
We can put names of projects on future.
Well, we told
submittals,
Terry,
yeah.
no more of this. Name them,
That's fine.
right? We don't care what the name is. She'll do something. Be creative.
I do think you made the building, your second round, you made the building slightly
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
had to, because there was a issue.
Yep.
Okay, I'll update my memo.
Okay, so the next few comments, again, were informational, talks about the sewer connection being subject to review and approval by the County Department of Environmental Facilities. Comment 7 talks about there's a 4-inch diameter ductile iron water service shown on the plan. Size and material should be noted. Number 8, backflow prevention will be needed to be approved by the Orange County Department of Health prior to issuance of a building permit. Again, that's informational. Number 9, a traffic impact study was previously submitted. I know that Kimley Horn had a few comments. One of the comments requested a crash analysis. I did take a look at it, but I would defer to Kimley Horn for any comment they might have on it. It didn't seem to me that there was anything that was out of the ordinary in terms of the number or the severity of the accidents, but again, I defer to Kimley Horn on that. Number 10, stormwater pollution prevention plan was submitted.
Dave, can I just interrupt for
sure.
a second?
Mhm.
If I remember right, isn't there, for the building, it was fine if it was a regular business, but no medical?
Like general office as
General
opposed to
office is
medical office,
fine.
yes.
That's correct.
Okay,
And so your approval's going to have to be conditioned on that.
right.
That's it. Like, you're going to say offices.
Yes.
If we
I just
put-
want to make sure
If we have
you,
plans of the building department to show medical, then we're coming back to the board.
right.
Yeah.
So, I
Okay.
mean, that's what's been related to me.
Okay. So number 10, the stormwater pollution prevention plan was submitted. We reviewed that. I do know that we witnessed infiltration tests at the property. Had some comments on here. Just show those results in the SWIP report, and then provide a completed MS4 SWIP acceptance form for us to process with the village.
Sure.
Number 11, plan should be referred to the Orange County Department of Planning under GML 239. Has that been done yet?
Yes,
Yes,
Do we
July.
have, and we have the letter back from them?
I think so.
Did we get anything back from the?
Yes,
I think we did. Yes, we did.
late August. That's in my comment, so
Okay.
So no impact, is that what the?
I'll go through it because
Okay.
it's in my memo.
Okay,
Okay, because I don't think I had that. I didn't see it. Okay.
right.
Number 12, sheet 20 includes details for a terracrete retaining wall. It is unclear where this retaining wall is located on the site plan, and then retaining walls are subject to 200-65.
Yeah, that's an oversight. That should be removed, yeah.
So okay, there's
It
no
doesn't-
retaining wall?
There's no retaining wall needed,
Okay.
yeah.
Application is subject to architectural review, applicant to provide renderings and material samples.
Did the board get renderings?
Did we what?
Did you get renderings?
No.
I'm gonna
Yeah, where's the
Gonna-
retaining wall, Dave?
I'm gonna send them to Terry now.
So Mike was saying that
If you notice, I was popping in and out quite a few times, and so, I'm sorry, what was that?
So Joe just asked where the retaining wall was. So essentially, there's a detail for a retaining wall that's shown, And Mike is saying that there will be no retaining wall. It was accidentally left on the plan, it should be taken off.
Terry, what's your email again? Your email?
Secretary?
Yeah.
PB
that's right.
secretary at Village of Monroe.
.org.
Technically, you all have to change all your email addresses. They're supposed to be .gov emails.
You should be getting the renderings.
Yeah, why was it .org?
They're all, because it's cheaper. Just done. But technically, you all have to update, which that's going to drive everybody nuts. Welcome to New York.
Well, technically, we don't have to do anything. Somebody's going to do it for us.
The village, the proverbial village, not you.
Somebody.
So the last two comments that I had, a short EAF was previously provided and intent for lead agency was circulated. Upon satisfaction of complete application, the board should consider making a determination of significance. And the last comment is a public hearing is required.
And then I'll go through mine, trying to skip over what Dave's already done. We do have a letter from Orange County Department of Planning dated July 15th. It does say local determination, but they did provide a fair number of comments, so I would request that the applicant go through those comments.
Did you get that, Mike?
Don't
Look at
recall
this
seeing
one
it,
for
yeah.
a moment, you know?
So, some of them are fairly straightforward. I'll just summarize. Regarding the northern long-eared bat, we advise the village and applicant to ensure that best practices are followed during construction. In order to minimize any accidental takings, best practice are likely to include times for tree harvesting, among other measures. Traffic impact analysis, you're already effectively doing this. The village should coordinate with DOT on a traffic impact analysis for the project. That's already underway, and mitigation measures necessary to lessen the impact of the project on 17M and the surrounding area. Stormwater pollution prevention plan, we're already, so a lot of this we're already doing. Wetland survey, we do have the wetland delineation, so again, that comment appears to be satisfied. Lighting, they did provide lighting that they'd like to see. And then sewer capacity, the usual comment from the county that they have no capacity, or they're right near capacity, so we need to make sure that we have the capacity, so.
Yeah, now that the plan's, I think, in the right spot, I'll be submitting to them
Okay.
next. Yeah.
Most of these are standard operating procedure for you, Mike, so I don't know that there's any like thing crazy. I just want, you have to address them, but you would have to address them even if county didn't. You're getting most of them already, just by.
Yeah, Dave, was there a hit for bat on the EAF? I don't remember.
Yes.
There was? Okay. Did I put the note on the plans?
Can't remember now if I had that.
I mean, that's a standard comment.
It's not a big deal, yeah.
No, it's a standard comment, because it's,
You may have, I'll have to look.
you know, they send it back every time with that on it, because we have long-eared bats.
Well, this was the, I was looking for this earlier, that you do have it on a separate matter, but you had a note on here. Because we kind of talked about it, a sprinkler system is not required for the proposed project, is the note that you have on the plan.
Correct.
I
That was
couldn't find
per
it. Yeah.
Brock and Mann's interpretation, but we haven't submitted architectural plans yet. I don't, that's all going to need to be submitted and finalized at that point.
Right. Yeah.
The other note is, as it relates to habitat, you have to obtain a permit from New York State DEC for your disturbance within the adjacent area.
Yeah, now that the plans are in the right spot, now we'll be submitting to Orange County Sewer District and the DEC. We'll start both those processes. Not a problem.
This is the building,
This is the rendering, yep. I don't know what that park bench is and seating area in the back, that's,
New to
obviously,
you?
that's not on my plan, so I'll make sure. That's the first I've seen it as well.
Mike, I'm gonna say the obvious, you might wanna coordinate with whoever's doing your rendering so that, he's not giving you more homework.
I just got these as we stand here.
yeah, really, you want to make sure they're paying for that.
Yeah, we don't have this.
So, okay, so the wall's not there. Maybe he put this together for the public so they'd like it more.
I mean, the colors, the building looks correct. The general parking layout looks correct. I'll have them remove the little garden area behind the building that was not
And the wall,
And obviously you have that
Yeah.
there as well. Go through some of the other ones just to see what I've got. Well,
Can you go back through?
For the first time together.
How large are those offices?
I have to look at the floor plan.
are they all of similar size, Mike, or are they all different?
They're pretty similar. I'm looking at it right now.
I'm just looking at.
I mean, one's 10,
the corners-
on average,
The corners look bigger.
on
It's
average, they're about 10 feet.
Not,
There's a few that are 14 feet.
oh,
Okay.
I'll take it.
I'll take the corner office.
it's just gonna look like you're only seeing that site in close up.
Yeah,
It's
Joe,
gonna
so
look-
Joe, I mean, 95% of them are
I just
10,
need
about 10 feet.
weirder-
Yeah, I'd like to get the corner office to overlook the park bench.
Long and skinny.
I want my office in the park bench, actually.
Looks like somebody took it.
You know,
from
Michael, it's all
and
good,
put-
we're
this is
laughing
just like
and
when
so
you
on.
take it, It's gonna be an
It
Airbnb.
goes from a small building that was
The
there,
backyard's all glass
the
windows.
veterinarian and so on, to this very large building.
Mm.
All offices, the village of Monroe. Generic question.
I think you asked me this last meeting, but go ahead. Offices, why so many offices?
And I get these in church. I sit right next to you and I get the questions and I'm afraid to ask you in church because I don't want you to miss nail me.
That's not what church is for.
But, why do we need more office space in Monroe?
It's the applicant's risk, Joe. We discussed this. I mean, it's a permitted use. The applicant feels that there's a need for this and they're willing to build it.
There is a need.
That's their determination and opinion. I mean, I can't, and I don't think this board can tell anybody what to say or do if it's a
If
permitted
it's in
use.
the code.
It's
and if
their, it's their economic risk, whether or not
Right.
it works or not.
Listen, believe me, I understand what developer's risk is all about.
Yeah.
But do we really need another office building?
Mike, is this the
We
inside?
have 208,
For real?
we have,
It looks really
we
good
have
though.
the
I thought
208
it was
business
Because
center.
we're gonna hold them to it, and we want the material list.
On the interior, yeah, I mean, it's pretty upscale. I included it, it was in the rendering sent to me, so why not take a look at it? I mean, honestly, I don't know what that's gonna look like, but the outside, we'll make sure the outside is what's showing on the renderings.
So just, know that we have a relatively, it's only a couple of years old, a policy. It's not necessarily, I won't say who's named after the rule. We just need, you know, the specs, and if it's whatever, Benjamin Moore or whatever, you know, stucco color number.
Yeah, serial numbers.
This also was.
And then samples.
Yeah,
That's fine, yeah. And then, I
so
mean,
that we
the
don't
samples
get
I have.
the swapper, that way we don't get a swapperoo.
Oh, if you have them with you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, just leave them with us, because
I
then
was
we'll.
running around trying to find it, I picked this up before we.
So this is siding?
And this is a swatch of the stucco for the white portion of the building. And then I think the entranceway is like a gray black.
So why are they using metal? You know, aluminum, I guess this is.
It seems to be, yeah. Yeah, actually, the name and the manufacturer's on the back.
So the other thing we would need,
So
Mike,
you have all the finishes.
Okay.
Okay.
they're on there? Yeah.
Terry, if you can just add that to the file, that information to the file, that would be great. And then that way,
You can have everything. I mean, I contacted you a few times at the church. I was looking for you, you ran out on
Do
me.
what? I missed the beginning.
That's what I did. I contacted you a few times in church. I said I was looking for you afterwards, and you ran out on me. I said, I thought it was you. There's another guy who sits back there who looks a little bit like you.
I missed you at the picnic Saturday.
Yeah.
You would have a few more questions.
Yeah. I better run out. I better be one running around on church.
get that communion and go.
Stay long enough for the collection basket.
So on the outside, Mike, where's this go?
I think it goes here.
Bring that up to the village board
Oh,
to change the
oh, oh.
zoning.
And what's the white? Something similar to this?
Yeah, the white's whatever's this like trim on the outside, and this is that cedar side of the back.
Okay, so, right, that's called, so the black is the graphite, this is the white, I see.
Correct, yeah, that's the graphite.
And then the aluminum is the rest.
Correct.
Oh, it's nicer than the typical black and white.
Actually,
Well, it's got some depth to it too. It's, you got the overhangs, you got the top over, the cantilever.
I didn't think it looked that bad, actually.
No, it doesn't
Yeah.
look, not from a lot of things we see.
Yeah,
That's like a 7.
relatively speaking, I thought it was a decent rendering and decent choice of colors. Something a little different, but looks decent. It's got your earth tone colors in it, but it's got some breaking. It's got some. It's not. It's got some depth to it, and it's got the overhang. You got the frames around the back. I thought it was.
Michael, it looks real good if it's built that way.
It's going to have
At
to be.
least,
Yeah.
at least there's some features to it.
It's going to have to be. You got the
And
material
I'll
samples.
remind you again of Chaco cheese. No overhangs yet,
Yeah, no.
They still have time, they still have time.
nothing, no overhangs. That's
What's the
all
permit
that.
on that one? Because that's what they have to do, or not the permit, the time frame on that one.
A year.
It's 1 year, right?
So they're still within their time frame.
Yeah.
I know we would like it installed, and we thought that they would install it more quickly, but they are within their time frame, so I can't jump up and down yet.
So I just have a question. Because it's by kind of happenstance we figured this out. Do we send something, because we could do this, to the building department or do they pick that up normally from us to see, okay, they've got the print?
So typically, we can, it's fairly easy. Terry's across the hall from the building department. But typically, when the applicant goes in for their building permit, they present the signed and sealed plan, or the signed site plan, and that's the prerequisite to getting the permit. So no signed site plan, no building permit. Right? The problem becomes what happens, so we have an application now that's currently, the applicant slept on it, not one of yours, it's not one of yours. The applicant slept on it, and all of a sudden they're like, I want my building permit, and it's like, well, you let
Yeah.
they let their approval expire, and so now they've got to come back. So,
Not only do they have to come back, can you stop them from doing whatever they're doing inside?
well, if they don't have sign, they don't get a building permit.
Right. Can't build the inside without the permit.
Is Chaco cheese bacon?
I don't know what they're doing. I mean, I think they're working in there though. Yeah.
I think they're working in there
No,
too.
I think they.
But their site plan was for the addition. If they weren't doing the addition, they wouldn't have been before the planning board. It would have been an interior building permit only. So whether they're up to date on their building permits with the building department, talk to that nice man. So they may not, just to get operational, they may not have needed the site plan.
approval. No, I think they were already operating.
Think they what?
I think they were already
I do
operating
too.
before, and I think they were operating legitimately.
The site plan was triggered because of that addition.
Right.
There was 6 offices there. I think there was 6, 3 on each side of the walk up in the center.
Or just the.
And now it's just 1 floor, 1 operation.
Well, Joe, they just may not be prepared to,
Same thing gonna happen here?
I couldn't
Take
tell.
down these,
So I would say though, Joe, Mike is the engineer. That's not his,
I understand that, but he's representing the client.
right, but
So-
he can't answer the questions that you're.
Well, he has to take these back to the client.
Just be aware though, and generally speaking, the planning board role in site plan approval is the relationship of the improvements on the site. So, now, if interior offices affect parking or other things, then that may be part of the discussion, but whether there's 15 offices in that building or 20 offices in the building, that's not generally the purview of the planning board. And if you look, all of our parking calculations and everything else is based on total square footage, not number of offices.
Or
So-
number of offices that are occupied. We could have 20 offices and we only have 3 of them rented out. I mean, that's.
Yeah, but you
So-
still have to go by, I think you would still have to go by the
No
potential.
No question, but in terms of whether or not,
Right.
we're
So
renting everything.
if you have a 20,000 square foot office building, right? to the planning board's perspective, it does not matter what the interior build-out is.
Right.
It's up to the building department to confirm that the interior build-out meets New York State Fire Code and the relevant codes. But for the planning board's purpose, we go, it's 20,000 square feet, 20,000 square
Right.
feet
That's the
requires X number of
calculation.
parking spaces, requires, the building is, 308 feet long, it requires sprinkling, or whatever the case may be. The role of the planning board is not to get into
Right.
the interior dimensions. Now,
As
if
long as the use is the same.
so long as the use matches what, now, if they come back and they say, okay, we're gonna turn upstairs and do a spa, we have to have a discussion. That's a change of use.
Or medical offices or
Right.
whatever.
Yes. Yeah, any change of use.
So, our focus is on the relationship of the improvements on the site, the location, the siting of those improvements on the site plan.
Right.
Like the pylon sign, you still didn't come back with that.
So,
Can we
yeah,
pause on an
I have
applicant
not
that's not on
forgotten
our
about that.
agenda?
and I'm not letting that go. But I did go away on vacation, and I was really busy before I left, so there was about a 4 to 6 week downtime where I just wasn't contacting people to see where we were with that. But I will jump back on that. Okay. I'm going to keep coming back to this board for other projects, I hope, and want to.
And Marilyn's gonna keep asking, so you better have an answer.
I was waiting for Joe, actually. She beat him to it. So I mean, look, just be a little patient. I will coerce them, and we will.
Yep. Yep.
I'll bulldog it through somehow, one way or the other.
Yes. Okay. Any, so do we?
I just want to go through a
Yes.
couple of my comments.
Yes.
So I talked about Orange County Department of Planning, that's fine. Lead agency was circulated. I would like a motion tonight to assume lead agency. We received no objections. Terry, that's correct. Nobody responded that they objected.
Oh, no.
Okay, I saw county had no I saw the county provided, we have no objection here, our comments, which are largely repeats of what we have. So can I have that motion to assume lead agency, please?
Any motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Okay. We've already beaten traffic. You beat me to it. We talked about the fire district comments. We just talked about architecture. Stormwater maintenance, I just incorporated my comments. I really have no objection as to form. Just get me a Schedule A to be reviewed and approved for a meets and bounds Schedule A.
Can I get that from Terry, or
What?
the Schedule A?
From your client's title company.
Oh, that Schedule A. Got
Meets
it.
and bounds.
Thank you.
You know what schedule we're on.
And then there's there's like a loose N in a paragraph. It's just a typo.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's acceptable as to form. I just noted, this is for the record, there was discussion about the cemetery, because it came back from historic preservation because it's in proximity. They were discussing a phasing plan. The applicants provided a confirmation email from Ashley Barrett from New York State that if no construction within 90 feet of the cemetery, no construction plan is required. I believe the project meets that standard. So they do not need a construction plan.
2%, right.
Okay. I think that was just their template.
Do we need to discuss at all, since he's not here, Ted's memo? Anything of significance as you looked at it?
Honestly, most of Ted's comments are being addressed through the provision of what we're already doing. That's my, we had a long conversation at our June meeting about whether the applicant needed to provide a full EAF. At the time, the board decided to let the applicant proceed with a short. The applicant has also provided other information. There's a wetland delineation, there's a traffic study being presented, there's a SWIP being presented. We've got the comments back from historic preservation.
So we're getting the information we need.
We're getting the information.
And they have to go to the DEC,
Right.
so as far as
They-
environmental and ecological impacts,
Right.
the DEC will be reviewing that as well.
Agreed.
I don't think you can it's not a type 1s, you have to have a full unlisted, which is most of the applications we see. It's your choice. So we are getting a lot of the information that was requested through other formats in there.
Did we get the, did you get that from SHPO, the 90?
It's in an email that was on the OneDrive, so I got it somehow.
Okay, no, I was just wondering what,
From Mike.
I contacted SHPO
SHPO.
to discuss the matter with them. They responded to me via email,
He's
and then when that was done, I forwarded it to Terry, and she's disseminated it from there.
okay. Do we have both emails, the one you sent and the?
You have the full string.
It's the whole
Got it.
thread.
Yeah, you have the full string, yeah.
Yeah, no, that,
Perfect.
It's got pictures, dimensions on it, everything, so.
I'm not worried about that. So I think at this point, we've assumed lead agency. You've got a couple of, loose ends that we're finalizing, and then we'll be in a position to schedule public hearing.
Right. So there's no thought or potential of trying to schedule that public hearing in October? The only reason being is I felt that, if I'm misspeaking, just let me know, there was less that I needed to address, I thought, on the previous comments to be considered for a public hearing, and I actually addressed probably well over 90% of them. I felt as though the plans tonight, we have very limited comments. I mean, most of it is, very, very minor comments, other than dealing with the fire chief, which I'm sure I can meet him out there and address this. I was thinking if we could schedule a public hearing even later in the month of October, I would be able to address all these other little outstanding comments, make a resubmittal. They would be ready for that public hearing. I don't believe there's anything here that's going to change the layout of the plans or any of the reports or anything else that's been done. So I don't know if the board's...
I mean, I think the fire chief one's a big one.
Okay.
You know, that one you want to get,
Sure.
you know, but I
The
mean,
other option is to schedule, but the applicant understands that if information's missing, we are leaving it open until that information is
100%.
presented.
yeah, I have no problem with doing
Do you have
something
any
like that
objection?
because you can always
No, I
cancel
think
it.
that makes sense.
And it wouldn't be bad to solicit information earlier rather than later from the public. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree.
Mike, where are we, and with stuff to DOT, have you made a start to
Yeah,
that?
we've made a submittal. They've come back with some comments. We've got the stage one done. I have to just add some more details, update some
Okay,
material types, and resubmit to them.
okay. So I think I'm comfortable scheduling a public hearing. You said you wanted the second date in October?
I think it's fine. Whatever the later date is in October, to make sure we have plenty of time to do all
No,
this.
it's the 28th, I think.
I'm sure I can meet the chief within the next 5 to 7
Okay.
days. Yeah.
It's just holiday time, so it gets tight.
The wetlands issue, you did do the study where it begins and where it ends?
Oh, yeah, and the DEC came out, they verified the flags in the field,
Okay.
and then I provided them the map. They signed the map.
Yeah, we're good with
They
that.
validated the map, and I submitted that to the village, and you have that in your records.
So
Yeah.
DEC approved the map.
And now that's, again, now I know that the plan's not changing, my limits of disturbance is not changing, everything's set pretty much in stone, so it makes sense now to make the submittals to the DEC and/or Orange County Sewer District Number 1.
So the 28th is the is the October meeting.
Okay.
So, I mean, I have no objection. Anybody have objection to scheduling it? Can always put it off if Mike can't get the
I
information.
have a question.
Yeah.
No objection.
You said before that we had to finish all seeker items before you have a public hearing?
That was on subdivision. On site plan only, which this is,
Right.
we don't. We can have our public hearing, solicit comment from the public, and incorporate that into your seeker review.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Which is
so,
kind of a good thing.
yeah, it's,
I think it's the way it should be done, actually, but
go tell Skoufis and your
No,
state
I,
legislature, that's in state law, that's not in,
Yep.
we had this whole long debate today during our prep meeting. So, in this case, I have no objection to the public hearing because you haven't made any decisions yet, and if there's an issue, you can leave the public hearing open and solicit more information.
I think it worked really well, you know, with the Islamic Center when we had the public meeting because then they were able to incorporate a lot of what was
and this way, when you give your secret determination, you have more confidence that
Yeah.
right.
it's a finalized determination.
Right.
Yeah.
One more question. Is that white, what's going to be on the whole bottom of the building?
Yeah, it'll be around whatever portions were shown. If you can bring that back up, Terry.
Like the whole first floor?
Yes, correct, yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Take a quick look.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, so the first floor and like the outer part of the
And
second
then
floor
the
too.
outline, and then the whole first floor is going to be that white material.
So
Correct.
that's the same material, Mike, on the upper outline?
Correct.
There.
It is now.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's gonna get dirty.
It's getting dirty.
It's gonna get dirty.
What's the roof, just is rubberized or is it tar? What are they doing on the
I
top?
think it's stucco.
No,
No,
I
the
mean, I'm talking
roof.
about,
I presume, yeah.
Usually rubber.
Yeah.
Are they putting mechanicals up there too?
Yes.
yeah. Okay. Any other questions from the board? Did you want to, we'll
I need a
schedule
mo-
that?
I need a
So Need a
motion.
motion to schedule the public hearing for October 28th.
Motion to schedule the meeting, a public hearing for this building on the 28th of October.
I'll second.
Okay, and all in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Okay,
Super. Thank you for your time tonight.
thank you.
Have a good night, everybody.
And I think we have only the, oh, thanks, yep, got it, Mike. You have a copy, right?
Could you resend it to me, Terry, just to be sure I have it, the 239?
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate that, thanks.
Too much.
So
We have our
the-
local laws.
That's a nice looking picture right there.
So we're reviewing the new, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, except
I think
poor
we're gonna-
Mike, all of a sudden
No,
when the
we-
architect puts something that's not on
Well,
your
we want
site
the
plan,
park, we want the park now, so. That's,
that will require more disturbance.
okay. Just lay it on top.
That looks like it must be off the property, actually, given the size.
Yeah, given the size,
The building
exactly.
and how much room is around it, but.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's
Maybe the
not,
neighbor is gonna make.
I'm
the
thinking
park
that's on 17.
Well, that's on the, that's in the back.
Oh, it's the back end.
That's the
It's
wetland.
back end. It's still off the property.
Well,
That's in the
where's the dumpster?
But that's okay. I mean, it's a place for people that are working there to go out, nice days, have their lunch, sit down, do whatever they want to do.
The problem is it gives Mike
Probably
significantly more
takes,
homework.
probably takes away from parking.
No, it's a wetland
I don't
disturbance.
know.
Yeah.
So the
Yes.
rendering has to be corrected because there's some, while it's
Right.
gorgeous, there are some
It's not real.
there are some technical challenges with what's there. And again, where's the dumpster? So,
Yeah, but just as far as an open discussion, and I've had it with Mike just right here, Choco Cheese, I mean, those were 6 offices at one time. Now, all of a sudden, conveyor belt for cheesecakes. Isn't that a change?
I don't think so.
that determination, it was in a land use determination, so.
Right, that's the building
I
department.
don't wanna, because we still have
We
three,
just take what the building department,
I do wanna get to, because we have 3 local laws I need to finalize.
That's
with
where
you
we're
guys.
at.
That's
That's-
okay. This, little brief conversation isn't gonna hurt you.
all right, which one you want to tackle first, Elizabeth?
Let's do bonding. So I did circulate, and for some reason, I have to double check with Kim Zahara, so I apologize, I left it blank. The drafts that were circulated to us for, this is the change to the site plan, it was left blank, so I don't have the introductory local law. This is the amendment to chapter 200 zoning site plan and special permit review and approval. So I actually asked my very gifted intern who's studying planning and urban planning to listen to the tapes and start pulling this together, and he did a great job, and I tweaked slightly, but he did a great job. So remember, you have 4 statutory questions, so I will go through each. Whether the change is consistent with the aims and principles embodied in the chapter as to the particular districts concerned. And we wrote, the proposed local law establishes a phased procedure for posting financial security instruments such as bonds. Under the current regulations, applicants must post the full bond amount for all required improvements, whether privately owned or intended for dedication to the village, prior to receiving a building permit or site plan approval. For some applicants, such as individuals and quote, mom and pop businesses. This requirement may impose an excessive financial burden, potentially hindering development that is otherwise encouraged by the zoning code. Which areas, land uses, buildings, and establishments, this is question 2, in the village will be directly affected by such change, and in what way will they be affected? The proposed local law will impact any project that proposes the subdivision of land or requires site plan. The new mechanism allows for phase posting of financial security instruments, with each phase corresponding to a specific improvements like drainage and utilities. This change requires applicants to provide detailed plan sheets for each bonding phase, with the completion of one phase being a prerequisite for the next. The phases should be identified early so that they can be incorporated into the seeker review process. The third question, the indirect implications of such change and its effect on other regulations. Multiple approval points for each phase could potentially lengthen project timelines. In addition, phases need to be developed so that the proposed security adequately protects the village during each of the individual phases. Whether such proposed amendment is consistent with the aims of the comprehensive plan. The proposed local law revises the payment process for the financial security instruments. It does not alter the goals of the comprehensive plan, but rather the procedural steps. Any application impacted by the proposed law will still be required to comply with the aims of the comprehensive plan. And then additional comments. One member suggested a 10% retention until the entirety of the project is completed.
So did this come from the village board?
No, this is a document that my office drafted to
Okay.
reflect the conversation we had to address the 4 statutory points.
Okay,
I'm giving it to you in draft form
gotcha.
so that you can, if you wish me to add anything, because again, this is to reflect your comments, that I can add it now and then you approve.
Yeah, so the third question, the indirect implications of such change. So I'm not sure, is that clear? So the concern there is, oh wait, is that the one I'm looking at? Wait. Yeah. So the multiple approval points for each phase could potentially lengthen the project timelines.
That's a potential, and again, these are potentials. We'll never know till it's actually,
Right, and how do you see it because you guys drafted it, how do you see it potentially affecting the timelines? Is it
well,
on their side or our
every time
side?
there's a phase completion, they have to come to the village board and say the phase is done. And Dave, chime in if you think I'm.
Oh, they go to the village board for that?
Well, so we make Dave actually makes the recommendation. Right now, if an applicant were before us, they would submit a cost estimate to Dave. Dave would
Right.
review it for appropriateness,
Mhm.
and then make a recommendation to the village board saying that we recommend that this be the established cost assessment. It's then incumbent on the applicant to post security, whether that's a letter of credit, a bond, cash payment in lieu, whatever that credit is, that's acceptable to the village attorney. The problem is if you have phases, is every time a phase is complete, they'll have to go back to the village board to say, hey, phase 1 is complete.
Correct.
We need to modify the security. Phase 2 is complete. So it's a potential that, yes, you're breaking down the process, but it's going to take those additional.
Okay, I get that. Is there a threshold for the size of the project? Like, in other words, when does it get broken into phases?
It's up to the applicant, I think.
It's really up to the applicant. And they would have to demonstrate that the security could reasonably cover.
So it's up to the applicant because they're gonna have to put the money forward.
Right. And
Okay, so so they might wanna say, could we do this in phases? So that we can put this much down, then the next phase, then the next phase.
right.
All right, so
We
this,
typically see that in large subdivisions.
right,
Smith Farm is the prime example. That's a 4-phase subdivision.
yeah, or
All right.
208 or something like that.
Well, 208's not going to
Good
be
example.
208's not going to be phased the same way,
Right,
right?
Uh-huh.
And so that's actually a filing deadline. You don't actually create those lots until you're ready to file the second, third, and so that's a subdivision.
right, that's cleaner.
That's much cleaner.
Right.
Subdivision's much
Uh-huh.
cleaner. Site plan is harder. The question is, where is that line of,
Right,
okay,
and who decides that? Like, that, is
So
that
they
what we're
would-
saying?
So the applicant, I believe, would submit a plan to the planning board for phasing of the construction of the site plan, and then the board would review it and determine if it's suitable. But the phasing would be based on their desire, presumably, to break the bonding requirements up into more manageable chunks.
All right, so this then is really not for the planning board. This gives the applicant an option.
But we have to enforce it.
We still have to approve it.
No, I get that.
We have to
But,
approve the whole schedule.
no, I get that. I would imagine it would include things that don't include us.
Well, so again, the way I envision this is we're gonna review as part of our because also this ties into seeker,
Right.
is the timing and construction schedule, and that's very much been part of like 208, but again, we'd have to now do that on smaller projects. Usually we don't necessarily get into the nitty-gritty of the construction
You
schedule.
know, just an example on 208. I mean, we've had informal conversations where Elizabeth shut us up a couple of times. I mean, I like to see the phase of that, meaning I want to see all the road work done before they put a.
We've had that,
Right, and that conversation we've had, listen,
Yeah.
they have to go to the village board if they want that done. Because, you know, the village board, listen, we're an advisory board to the village board.
Correct.
So
so
we were pretty clear.
We would recommend that.
Right, so,
going to the phasing in the process, I
Right.
would anticipate that whatever phasing was proposed, that would be a condition of our approvals, because we put in the approval, we would break it out, and you'll notice that, you know, okay, prior to site plan, or prior to plan signing, you gotta do this. Prior to building permit, you gotta do this. Prior to CO, you gotta do this. Well, now I'm gonna have to put in, okay, prior to building permit, you gotta do this. You gotta set up phase one financing. Prior to building permit for phase two, you gotta close out phase one. So like, that would
Okay,
be
so-
baked into your resolution.
yeah, I'm just trying to understand. So they could, if they want to, say, I don't want to phase it, here's all the money down.
Yes, 100%.
And that's it. So the whole cost analysis.
Is the planning board, and I don't remember what it said, is the planning board obligated to accept that, or is it purely at their discretion?
That's what
It's at
I'm,
their discretion. That's how I read the
so
law.
this is an option for the applicant.
No, what I'm saying is, even though the applicant may want to do it, the board's under no obligation to accept it.
Right.
But
if
we
you-
can't, can we compel them to do it?
To phase,
Yeah.
I wouldn't compel them.
No, so it's an option for them.
But you can, so you can't say you must phase, but you can say, no, you can't phase, because there may be a project where
I get
the
that.
drainage and the phases that they propose are just not realistic, and it would leave the site in I'm using the wrong terms here, but like, would.
In a state of
Unfinished
disrepair.
state, an unfinished state or
would not
something,
be,
yeah.
would not conform to stormwater standards
So
or
now,
whatever.
Elizabeth, so I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Don't we have to list the exceptions? Not that you could list them all, but like what Dave just said, if a phase leaves the project in an unfinished state or in whatever you want to say, it can't be done. Because if they see this as an option, how do you say no? And where did that come from?
It's in, so if you look at the code. Give me a second. I just wanna, is this gonna actually show me the red line? Please show me. Oh, here you go. So the language that's added is alternatively, the planning board may, in its sole discretion and for good cause shown, permit the applicant to phase the posting. So this is actually the exception to the rule. The rule is you gotta bond it, you gotta secure everything.
Right.
The proposal is an exception to the rule, to phase the posting of said financial security instruments to correspond with specific improvements such as drainage, utilities, interior roads and driveways, parking areas, landscaping, and so forth. And then further down, where the planning board has permitted the phased posting of financial security instruments, the site plan shall include specific sheets aligned with said phasing, and those individual sheets shall not be signed by the chairman until such financial security has been posted.
All right, so because it's an exception, the planning board can say, you got to post the whole.
100%.
But we look at this and say,
Honestly,
yeah,
my gut, for some very small projects, it's gonna cost more for their engineer to develop a phasing, to do the engineering for phasing than to just post the money.
Probably, yeah.
right. So that's why.
Because you now need to now have, let's say it's 3 phases, instead of having, a 2 or 3 page site
To
sheet.
slow you down, like you said,
Yeah.
you've got to go back to the village board and show completion of the first phase, then they have to
Right.
accept the second bond, and
Right, so for them, it's purely a financial thing. We'll do the extra work, we'll do the extra meetings, but we get to then phase the money. on that
I
way.
don't know in practicality that this is going to be used too terribly much. There might be, we certainly had one request, and it turns out, I think they ended up going forward to post that particular, the person that
So
requested it.
if it's not needed, and there's only been one request, but they went forward, why are we doing it?
I can ask the village attorney that.
Okay, so it came from,
But we got this while the request was still open.
okay.
My understanding was they posted, but I
Oh, I
could be
didn't know
wrong. I thought they
Did they?
did, oh, maybe I'm wrong,
I know they were talking about it,
Okay.
I think.
Well, because
I
this is
see.
taking us 90 days to get this code amendment. And they're gonna, that means that particular applicant would have to come back to us to show us the phasing. Again, more engineering work
right,
and not
there's additional
insignificant.
cost, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, time and cost.
So,
I mean, I don't have a problem with it, I just don't know the necessity of it.
okay.
So, on that one piece.
Do you want me to add to the additional comment section that the board questioned whether this will come into play or something?
Yeah, because, like, in other words, why make an extra law that you're not gonna use, or it's a kind of an exceptional outlier, you know? And maybe they see it's gonna be used for more things, I'm not sure, but,
I'll talk to the village attorney, but I'm adding it to
Yeah.
my notes.
I mean, there's not a whole lot of subdivisions left in Monroe anyway, and things like that. All right, the other question I had is, in the fourth one, I would just change the word aims to to goals, so it's consistent in the explanation.
Oh, the word goals in the text?
Yeah,
To
because if
aims?
that's what it is, if it's the goals of the comprehensive plan, then I'd say the goals
Okay.
up top.
I'll double check the statute. Hold on. I'm pretty sure I copied that from the statute, but I will check. Now you're just getting nitpicky, Jeff.
No, I'm just wondering, are aims the same as goals?
Yes, in my mind, yes. Let me just look at the question. The statutory question is aims. Your
And what
regula-
about the explanation?
I just changed it to aims.
Oh, okay, oh, great, so either, fine.
But I'm
It's
not gonna,
consistent.
I'm not gonna change the question to goals because
No.
I'm copying the statute verbatim. Given the additional work necessary to create a phasing plan. Okay. Does anybody have anything else to add? I will talk to the village attorney and relay that back, but we are out of statutory time on
Yeah,
this, so.
it's just a question, they can do what they want.
Yeah, is there a motion to approve this as I have amended it and discussed?
Okay, member Allen? Anybody second that?
Second.
Joe? All in favor? Opposed? Okay,
All right, so I will, Jeff, because I've got so many, I will do a cover letter to the village board, like we did for when we did the comprehensive plan and we had all
Yeah.
those local laws.
yep,
I just attached the sheets to one letter. Okay, I'll have that ready for your signature.
It's one of my old questions. The subdivision property behind all the new stuff we're looking at.
and ShopRite?
No, behind Captain's Table.
Oh, the queue.
Oh, the
The
Q.
Q, right? What is it?
No, that's not behind the captain's table, that's up Still Road there. Captain's tables, what are you thinking?
The subdivision that.
You think about the golf course?
No, by the, behind,
No. The
behind
Q,
Captain's Table.
no, the Q is up Still Road.
Yeah, but it's behind Captain's.
It's still behind Captain's Stable. By a ways, but it's behind,
It goes behind Captain's Table.
yeah.
Oh, it comes all the way down, I guess, yeah.
My understanding is it's lapsed.
Right. I see what you're saying.
That's
I'm
what I'm
thinking
saying.
like there's something.
But
he's
that's,
thinking
that's their
about.
problem, that's not ours. Okay.
You know,
Yeah,
that approval has lapsed.
yeah, but that's their problem. That's gonna go to Ron or the building department or
I think they were just on Friday about that.
they came in?
Vaguely remember, because there was a conversation about it. It's 47 still.
Yeah, I think that's right. So they'd have
We
to
have
come
to
back.
check dates on that, because I'm pretty sure they're lapsed and they'll have to.
Yeah, they'd have to come back here.
If you could let us know, I don't know what Chris is aware of.
They're definitely lapsed.
Does that predate my time?
Yeah, they're
Yes.
definitely lapsed,
I'm sorry.
for sure.
I believe they owe us
And they owe us money.
Because they owe us a lot of money.
like 40,000.
So, oh yeah, like 40 grand. So
Don't,
Terry
please
will
don't
send
issue
you
any
over
permits
the-
on that.
just send him the dates of the approval.
I can tell you, hold on.
So you can go into your record into the building department and see when you issued the permit for that address.
What permit did they issue?
I think they issued a permit, right? No,
No.
sorry, it was our thing that lapsed. Sorry, not a permit. They didn't get the permit. So just
Site plan.
when we approved, because they have a year, the resolution.
Well, that's a long time.
Right.
I will,
No,
if
he
you give me,
needs-
if you
they'll
give
need
me
a copy.
30 seconds, I will pull it up. Give me, I'm not that fast, hold
Okay,
on.
take
Come
your
on,
time.
Liz, come
Take
on.
your time. What about the Islamic Center?
What about it?
That's been about 6 months now.
They have a year and
Yeah, they
can
have up to
request
a year.
extensions.
They have a year.
I know. They haven't done much, which is surprising. And
Well,
now-
they took the building down.
Ron, their special permit I have as approved, my safe
Won't
date
they take the
is
building down at
January
least it's
25th, 2022.
Well, that would be part of it.
What about
So they're
continuous
expired
work?
under your code, and
You're
that's
not
in their
required to do it
resolution,
Continuously. You'd have to come for an extension if you're gonna go beyond.
2022.
I'm
Because,
sure they will.
They're probably gonna be a little bit.
Yeah.
And they had a lawyer here saying that, remember how they were like, oh, well, the holiday's gonna happen, and we were like, you don't even have a tank top.
You said it was a
Shut up,
show.
and lawyer.
January 25th, 2022 was the date of the, was the date of the conditional approval,
What was that date?
January 25th, 2022.
That was for the queue.
That was for the queue. And I
And we can
have,
send you the approval if you need it,
Yeah, please.
the
Send-
resolution.
Yeah, there was a clear cut back there. Clear cut back there.
Something came up about this on Friday.
Yeah,
well, they gotta come back to us,
yeah, they have to come here.
because 72, it's 272F.
Which is okay, absolutely.
Construction within 1 year pursuant to 72F.
If they can,
Applicant may request an extension. It's been so long, they're gonna have to,
there's a bill.
Can't see why you can't
they're gonna have
see
to start over.
continuous construction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it
Right.
could be written into the law.
They're gonna have to
They
start
run
over.
out of money.
All right, thank you.
Because haven't stormwater standards changed, wetland standards changed?
So we have to do it on the funding issue.
Yes, yes,
Yes, they have.
Maybe I'm for it, but
unless they applied for continuance of coverage, which they probably haven't,
My wife likes that
but they could have.
stuff.
Uh,
She likes it a lot.
And NOI, notice of stormwater.
No, I mean, that's what I'm saying, if they had filed, they probably filed for the permit. Did they start any construction? No.
They might have cut trees.
Well, if,
That's 40 minutes, 30.
Yeah.
no.
All right. So we're not here till.
Yes, so
I didn't get lunch and I haven't had dinner yet, so. Country Inn.
consider it a fast, for something healthy.
Country Inn, all right, this is the addition of adaptive reuse to the National Register. So this is again taking from the conversation, whether the change is consistent with the aims and principles embodied in the chapter as to the particular districts concerned. The proposed local law is a limited revision of the provisions addressing the adaptive reuse of existing historic buildings, creating an additional permitted use of a country inn. The existing provisions identify the allowed uses, all of which require a special use permit, architectural review, and site plan approval issued by the planning board. The change identifies a country inn as an additional permitted use. This is consistent with the aim of preserving the village of Monroe's historic resources and character in all districts. Second question, which is which areas, land uses, buildings, and establishments will be directly affected by the change? The proposed local law shall be permitted by special use permit in all zoning districts. It establish. I gotta tweak that. Its application is likely to be limited in that it is restricted to historic buildings as defined by the code. I could not identify any indirect implications of the change. Is there anything that the board can think of?
I just have, what is a country inn?
So it's a bed and breakfast plus, based on the way I read the code.
Plus,
It's got a restaurant that's open to the public, I believe, right?
I don't know.
I think that's what, you have a definition in the local law? I think that's the main difference, is that the restaurant would be open to the general public as opposed to a bed and breakfast where it's only to the people that stay there.
Oh, so not to the general public, to the public
So
staying there.
A bed and breakfast, food service only goes to the people that are staying there.
Right, so it's only a bed and breakfast is what
But a country inn
is to the public.
allows food to both the people
Is that
staying
the
there.
difference in there? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so there's lodging
Plus a restaurant.
plus a restaurant.
Correct.
And it can be in a residential zone?
It can be wherever hold on.
Because it says any zone.
I think it was limited to the overlay district, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't see, I'm not sure if I have the local law here. Let me see if I can find it.
I have it right here. A country inn is defined as a commercial establishment managed by the property owner or a management company under a lease from the property owner, where overnight lodging is provided to transient lodgers in one or more guest units for compensation. Country inns have common sitting and dining areas and may have a restaurant in the principal or other buildings which may be open to the general public. Country inns have a limited accessory recreation facility for the sole use of overnight guests, for which no additional parking facilities shall be required. Country inns may also be used for social events or gatherings, e.g. weddings. This term does not include boarding houses, which are prohibited by the zoning law. The combination of uses is to be designed to operate as a single integrated entity to create a desirable destination. Such integration is to be achieved by means of complementary architectural styles, internal circulation for pedestrian and vehicles, and cohesive landscaping.
So my question comes in that second paragraph where it says permitted by special use in all zoning districts. I would think that SR10s might have a problem with that. Because that's really an Airbnb with breakfast.
Hold on 1 second.
We don't allow Airbnbs in the village. Town does though.
It has to be an existing building, right? And on over, property
Give me-
over
give me a
So
45,000
this is a
square
reuse, so
feet.
is this specifically reuse of historical building?
It has to be, yes.
Okay, so that makes, so a historical building that's in anything, even wherever they are.
So
On a lot
they
size.
can't build a new building,
Right,
and they
Okay,
need 45,000 square feet, which is
an
huge.
acre.
An
Yeah, it's over
acre
an acre. Yeah.
in the village.
yeah, where's that gonna happen? I mean, can we think of any property right now? You think of what? Okay,
Am I saying it without saying it?
oh yeah, okay, I'm for that. I'm for this. Yeah, I just said, right. It's the
Marilyn
only one I
said
could think of.
That's the only one.
Yeah, I like that idea for there. I was trying to think, how do I get an acre onto my property? I think I own into the pond.
Okay, so going back to our, y'all are killing me tonight. Indirect implications, do we have any other indirect implications? I could not identify any. Do we might want to say potential impacts?
Well, the only indirect implication would be if they have to come into code with a kitchen, you're gonna be
Yeah.
damaging the
Okay.
interior,
That's actually a great,
you know?
there are concerns converting the building to accommodate appropriate kitchens may negatively impact, accommodate appropriate and code compliant kitchens may negatively impact the historic character of the site. I will tell you that my parents were involved in a part of an association in a project, historic building, 1800s building, fire code issues up crazy. They actually ended up building they essentially built an addition, and they provided essentially there was an umbilicus, there was a hallway that was attached.
So it
And
connected.
And the hallway was the 2-hour fire stop, because they pretty much said, the fire marshal said, you can have your kitchen, but you have to shut down your entire second floor because there wasn't enough fire separation. And that wasn't going to work.
Right.
So they essentially built a modern kitchen to match the building off the back of the building.
Yeah, I'd rather have that as the better
And then they
idea.
started a commercial kitchen from scratch rather than building with 1800s walls. And,
Yeah.
you know.
Probably healthier.
And then you get to see the
And
whole
it's air
nice
conditioned.
character of the other building.
Right.
And you can eat in there and do whatever you want to do. So I like that idea.
But
Maybe a specimen.
Yeah. So,
And then whether the proposed amendment is consistent with the aims of the comprehensive plan. The comprehensive plan seeks to prevent the loss of historic structures. The proposed local law is in furtherance of that effort and is therefore consistent with the comprehensive plan.
yeah, I think that's good.
Do we have any other comments? Do you want, I did not write this, but I know it was said that this is likely to affect one, maybe two, I doubt two, but one property. Do we want that comment, or are we okay with knowing, I didn't put it in there?
No, we don't need a no.
Okay. Is there anything else the board would like me to add?
No, I think we're
Okay.
good. Everybody good?
All right, can I have a motion to approve that?
I'll make that motion.
And Joe seconded. All in favor? And opposed?
Okay. Last one that you don't know about, and I'm gonna ask you to do this relatively quickly. We got an email. Can we just pull it up? Give me one, bear with me. It's on the OneDrive, right, Terry?
The unsafe building?
Unsafe buildings, yes.
Is that up there?
Let me pull up my email. There was a petite oops, and unfortunately fortunately or unfortunately, I was covering the village board meeting and said, that's in the zoning code, it needs to go to the planning board. So I said, given its extent, that I thought we could hammer it out.
You scroll down a little bit?
We could hammer it out today.
Okay, yeah, right there.
So it's deleting paragraph 5, and I'll pull up paragraph 5. So what it's eliminating here, I just want to make sure I got the right paragraph. Yeah. So this is under your unsafe buildings. And
So is this the current legislation that's up there right now at the top of the village
that is the
board?
current legislation.
Okay,
So the paragraph they wish to delete if you go to your code, says, in case the owner, agent, or person in control cannot be found within the stated time limit, or if such owner, agent, or person in control shall fail, neglect, or refuse to comply with notice to repair, rehabilitate, or to demolish and remove said building or structure or portion thereof, the village attorney shall be advised of all the facts in the case and shall institute an appropriate action in the courts to compel compliance. So,
That whole piece you just read is added or replacing something?
deleted.
Oh, that's deleted.
Yep.
And this
the-
goes in its place.
And the reason, I know the reason, many of the codes for unsafe buildings, all right, and I've had this in many of the municipalities where I am the village attorney, is that you go through this whole process of unsafe building, and if you, let's say it's so unsafe it warrants the village intervention and us going in and demolishing the building.
Mhm.
The old versions of the codes would all say, and then the village board shall authorize the village attorney to go to New York State Supreme Court and get an order authorizing the demolition.
So 2 years from now,
Exactly. So this essentially flips the order. So it turns it into like many other processes where the board can take action, and then it's incumbent on the owner to challenge that as an Article 78. So it flips the order. And I have seen that, that's the more modern practice, because again, it's just, you gotta get the report of the building inspector, and then the village board has to have a hearing, and then the village board has to tell the village attorney to
so
go.
let me ask a question on this thing. So right now, because it didn't say either way in the new or what I mean the current or what you just read. Right now, can our code enforcement go in and say, this is an unsafe situation, everybody out? And just tape it all off?
They can what we call placard it.
Is that what that's called, placard?
Yeah,
Placard it?
They can do that with the present law.
That's what I'm asking.
they can, well, that's under New York State property maintenance law. That's not just our code.
And who can do that? The building inspector or the code enforcement?
Both.
Both could do it. So
Or the
right
fire-
now,
Or the fire inspector.
all
The
I'm
fire
asking it
inspector
for is
can
because you want to get people out of harm's way no matter what.
Mhm.
So that should be able, and so they don't need anything except the building inspector or the code enforcement to say, this is unsafe, you have to move out now. We'll wait till you get your things.
Or what about the?
But the village then can't do anything to the property. So the question is, so this would be more applicable in a situation where you've got two houses in close proximity. The porch is there's something leaning, and once it goes, it's gonna take out the next house, or
Or the second floor is being held up by
Yeah.
the, yeah.
So situations like those.
So.
And
okay.
actually, in one instance, I had an instance where the insurance company, the neighbor, it was a townhouse complex, and we had a fire in one unit, and the wall in between the two, the fire wall, the party wall, was unstable, and when we did finally placard it, because nobody was moving with any pace to fix this,
Right.
and it was getting worse and worse, and we finally placarded it. As soon as we placarded it, then the insurance company finally was like, oh, we have to fix this. And it was because we had the placard
Right.
that the
So
insurance
that's-
company was willing to actually move on it.
So that's currently part of our ability because it's New York State law. We don't have to have a law
Correct.
for that.
Correct.
So,
But
okay.
it's still easier said than done, because, okay, Ron issues a placard and says, get out, right? Some of the people get out, not all the people get out. And then what do? And then it gets more gray as to what you do.
So my question, does law enforcement get involved and say,
They
you have to
can.
leave because it's unsafe? We can't have you staying here.
They can, it's easier said than done. It's easier. Now, in an obvious situation where the house is half burned down, they're gonna say get out. But in a situation where it's not so obvious, electrical, gas issues that you may not see instantly, that he might see and understand, but you not see, You don't want to see some of the pictures of some of the restaurants.
Oh, yeah. So does this, so all I'm asking, I guess, is does this new code help or hurt or nothing to to the placarding and to that side of things?
It reorders the need to go to court to,
All right, so it speeds up, so it's
Theor-
helpful.
theoretically.
And
Theoretically,
theoretically-
you don't have to go to New York
Wait.
State Supreme Court to get it
First.
issued.
Theoretically because it hasn't been tested, or theoretically because there's other cases that didn't work? Like, why is it theoretical?
Theoretical, because nobody handles code enforcement well, and that's not a statement whatsoever about the.
No one in municipalities, you're saying?
Period. I had one recently in a municipality where we had the town board issued an unsafe building order demanding that everybody vacate. One person remained. And the question is, what do you do? Well, the sheriff's office is like, we're not going to touch it. You don't have an eviction order. But I don't have grounds for an eviction because it's not an eviction, right? So then I have to go to New York State Supreme Court after my town board's issued an order to say, because PD won't.
Because they have no standing
Correct.
to do it.
Correct. So it's kind of, when we have these issues, we get law enforcement. So in the clear-cut cases where the building's coming down, it's pretty darn easy, right? Chief or the PD, they're like, get your butt,
Right.
It's pretty easy. It's those in between and what's behind closed doors. And so Ron may know that something pretty awful is back there. There may be lack of running water that you can't see from the street,
Right,
right? And you're removing somebody from their home.
right. Gas leaks, I mean, there's all kinds of things that could go wrong.
It's
You got a propane tank and it's, forget it.
code compliance in that regard. It can be challenging. We try to bring in the rare instances that we have to physically remove somebody, we try to get voluntary compliance when we issue a placard. We call different organizations to help, because sometimes a fair percentage of the time it's a tenant who has no control over the building.
Right, you can't
It's
find
not.
the owner.
It's not. It's a slum.
And the owner's living somewhere else in another country.
Collecting the rent, and they don't care. And the poor tenant, who is probably, they're like, no, we paid our rent.
Yeah.
And housing is expensive. We all know that how expensive housing is in the state of New York and in Orange County. And sometimes when people don't have the means, they live in some pretty awful places, because that's the best they can do.
Yeah.
How does this apply to the example where a lot of people are complaining about a single-family home is bought, they sell or rent X amount of rooms within that building, one bathroom, and the building just gets worse and worse and worse, and then all of a sudden, a new door in the side of the building that goes into the garage, and they made another room out of it. There are 8 cars in the driveway and on the lawn, or what was a lawn when it was a single-family house. How does this apply to that? How does this give him strength? How does it give our law enforcement strength to tell them this building has been,
So
let's just say, use the word condemned?
So this provision is under your unsafe buildings standard, and what is considered unsafe are all buildings or structures which are structurally unsafe, unsanitary, or not provided with adequate egress, or which constitute a fire hazard, or otherwise dangerous to constitute a fire hazard, or otherwise dangerous to human life, or which in relation to existing use constitute a hazard to safety or health by reason of inadequate maintenance, dilapidation, obsolescence, or abandonment, are severally, for the purposes of this section, unsafe buildings. All such unsafe buildings are hereby declared illegal and shall be abated by repair and rehabilitation or by demolition in accordance with the procedures of this section. So what that's saying, so one, your building department, your code enforcement officer is your first determination. is that, as with anything under your zoning code, is that an unsafe building?
So you're saying it's already in our laws in the village?
There is a provision in here for treatment of unsafe buildings, and the section I'm referring to, just so everybody can look it up at home if they wish, is section 200-67. So the building inspector, if he makes a determination that it's unsafe, he issues a stop work order if that's stating the defects, and then gives them a time to complete the repairs. If they don't do that, the building inspector then reports to the Board of Trustees. They schedule a public hearing, which is the property owner's opportunity to contest that the building inspector got it wrong. Remember, anytime you take away something, make a declaration, the property owner is entitled to due process, so that's why there's a public hearing component. That's due process. The Board of Trustees issues an order. If they don't comply, then they provide that the building can be made safe, secured, demolished, or removed.
So do we have like a bullet pointed list for the enforcement people in the police department? Like what our code is on that kind of stuff? Do you know what I mean? I know the police won't act without like.
So we have a couple of different processes depending on how you're proceeding. Because remember, you can have a code enforcement where the building's in violation of code and there's a range, and it might be something, and some of this is in the discretion of your building department, where your building department says, you know, the house isn't on fire, but this is a code violation, we're gonna take it to justice court. That's your decks without permits, your, you know, trash, your it's ugly, it's not pretty, it's not right, but nobody's gonna die from it, right?
Right.
This provision in my mind is that people are gonna die, people are gonna get hurt provision. So again, there's a lot of discretion on what's there. There are different processes, because remember, we have both a state code, New York State Property Code, New York State Property Maintenance Code, Building Code, Fire Code, and then we also have local code. And I can prosecute under both, and in several cases I have. I no longer prosecute for the village, I used to prosecute for the village.
I guess what I'm asking is, like, when you look, like, use Chris as an example, right? So, and by the way, Chris is leaving, right? So, but when Chris came in, and whoever the next person might be, when they come in, they're trying to come up to speed on things.
Well, Ron is code enforcement.
Yes, no, I know that. I'm
So
saying.
you have separated out code enforcement and building inspector.
Yes, that is true now. That's right.
So you have separate, so Ron's primary
But
job.
even, let's say, just use Ron. Say Ron, whatever, he takes a job somewhere, goes somewhere else. You know, is there something that we can give to people to say, here's your process? Like, these are your steps. Is there?
I have some that I've tried to give you checklists, right?
We have internal procedures. We have a document that was actually just adopted by the board that tells us that.
Oh, okay. So this will change that
But
or
I don't
add to
represent them
that.
anymore. I don't do their code enforcement anymore.
What she's talking about is speeding up the process.
I totally get that.
Which is what we really.
Right. So the process will change. So your new piece will change.
It's gonna make things.
Yeah.
better for the office to move forward with dilapidated properties.
Right. So you guys will take care of creating that list.
We have a list.
That's what I'm saying with the new thing.
We need this.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So I just want to, I'm gonna just, give me 1 second. I just want to run through I want to run through those 4 questions super duper quick so that we can approve it and I can send it in. Again, is this really a zoning issue for you guys? No, but your code's a little unique. Usually unsafe buildings is in a separate code provision, which would not have required our review, but it's in chapter 200, so it technically requires your review. It's a technicality, so we're just covering the bases. you can even, if you want to send back something as simple as, look, you have the statutory questions, you can say in this, you can respond with something as simple as, the proposed revision doesn't really affect the the statutory questions, they're not really relevant. I don't know if you want to say that. We think that this proposed local law will facilitate better code enforcement, or I can attempt to answer those 4 statutory questions.
Well, I think it does help with code enforcement.
Exactly.
But do you want me to, so remember, we have those 4 statutory questions, which are really for zoning. So this is something that's in our zoning code, but not really zoning.
Right.
It is. That's what he's telling you.
No, she's asking a different, like, so you're saying, do we want to fill out those 4?
Whether the
answer
change
them?
is consistent with the aims and principles embodied in the chapter as to the particular districts concerned. I can say something along of the overriding arches for the health, safety, and welfare. I guess.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Overriding arch principles, I'll make something, is the health, safety, and welfare of the community. The proposed amendment will facilitate code enforcement and elimination / remediation of unsafe buildings. Does that sound good?
That sounds good.
Okay. This is gonna be unsafe buildings village-wide. Village-wide. Indirect implications of such change and its effect on other regulations. I'm just gonna say this is one piece of multiple avenues available for code enforcement. Village to ensure that due process requirements are met, which I think they do. And then whether consistent with the aims of the comprehensive plan, I think you, again, go back to the overarching, cleaning it up. I can see if there's a specific provision in the comp plan
Yeah.
for unsafe.
That you could take, right.
Okay. Anything else? Anything else?
I don't have any. Anybody else have anything?
Okay.
Marilyn? No?
Can I get a motion to authorize me to draft that and for Jeff to sign something substantially similar to what we talked about?
Member Allen makes the motion. Come on, Marilyn, get in there.
All right, I'll second.
This is the one she wants.
All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Okey-doke.
Okay, I think we're done.
Superb.
Just since we haven't taken motion, it's just a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Ah, there we go. And second, to adjourn?
I have one guy, his only,
Pick one.
in Florida, I
Pick
have one guy, his only motion is the motion